Good morning. So lesson 2A is rounding decimal numbers. So hopefully you've already watched the instructional video to give you a good insight on how to actually do that. So your SAB today, you're going to get some practice down here with rounding some decimals, and it tells you, make sure you're paying attention to where you are rounding to. And then we've got a couple questions. So let's look at number 1 together. You should be on page 49. First one, number 1, says, a number changed to 12 6/10 after it was rounded. To what place was the number rounded? Explain how you know. Well, usually when you round, it's the last digit is what place we rounded to. So you need to look at your digit, and we have a 6 is our last digit, and what place value is that? So you should know that after the decimal, what place is this? Wait, to the left is our ones. Remember, to the right is our tenths, and then it's hundredths and thousandths. So right now we have our first digit after the decimal is tenths. So you could write to the tenths place. And you know this because it's to the right of the decimal, because the tenths place is to the right of the decimal. So we could write to the right of the decimal. So go ahead and do number 2 and 3. It's the same type of question. It's asking you what place was the number rounded to. So make sure you're looking at that last digit, and that last digit tells you what place it was rounded to. Let's do a couple of these problems together on the bottom. So round to the nearest whole number. So any whole number, our whole number is to the left of the decimal. So this whole number, our whole right now is 31. So we need to look to the right. Remember, when you round, you always look to the right, and we have a 7. So that 7 tells me I'm going to round up. So if I'm rounding to the nearest whole number, my answer is not going to be a decimal. It's going to be a whole number. So because I have that 7, I'm going to round up that 1, and my whole number, my answer would be 32. Okay, let's do one more of those together. Let's look at 11 5/10. So our whole number is 11 because it's to the left of the decimal. We have a 5, and remember, if it's 0 to 4, you stay. If it's 5 to 9, you go up. So that 5 is going to go up. So my whole number, instead of 11, it is now 12. So remember, on these ones, your answer should not be a decimal. It should be a whole number. Let's look at rounding to the nearest hundredth and make sure you have your place up here. Your hundredths place is your second digit after the decimal. So if you wanted to go ahead, like, it's so tiny. Let's kind of zoom in a little. You could underline the second digit in all of them so you remember. But let's look at number 10. So we have 4 51 thousandths. So we're looking at rounding the 5. So we look to our 1, and if it's a 1, you stay. So you're just going to drop off that 1, and your answer would just be 4 5/100ths. Okay, let's look at one more. Rounding to the nearest tenth, and if you remember, your tenths place is the first digit after the decimal. So if you wanted to, you could go in and underline the first digit because you know that that's the one you are going to round. So let's look at this. Let's look at number 19, actually. We have a 4 to the right, and 4 we stay. So we drop that number off, and it would just stay 8/10. Make sure you put your decimal in. So I think you guys get the idea. I'm going to give you a chance to do the rest on your own. If you have any questions, raise your hand.